What's up, Glue Dots? I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter, and tonight I really wasn't expecting to be doing my intro video tonight, but I cannot wait to show you this DIY that I came up with. So I'm coming to you in my pajamas at 12:15 doing my intro. I'm going to be up all night getting this out for you, but I can't wait. Anyway, look at my cute little owl pajamas. Are these not the cutest? I got these in Alaska. So, okay, let's see. All the important stuff. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and the craziness that follows, as you see, and hit the bell next to it so that you are notified when I do more craziness and add more videos. And let's see, like, comment, subscribe, share, all the whole works. So stay tuned, stick with me. This one's a wild one. So let's do it. So to get started, first thing we're going to do is be taking all of our candlesticks, which we should have 5 candlesticks and then 5 of these little candle holder jars. Obviously take the labels off of them as the first thing, but something that I like to do before I glue any of my pieces together is take a bit of rubbing alcohol and a paper towel and just clean off any edges that are going to be getting glue on them to adhere to the other pieces. It just makes for a better hold. So I have already gone ahead and done 4 of these, but I'm going to do one on camera so that you can see what I did. And I'm going to be using the Gorilla Glue epoxy resin, and please don't be afraid of this. I have watched many projects and I thought, oh no, they use that resin, I don't know how to start it, what to do, and it seems like scary. It's really not scary. This stuff is awesome, life-changing. So I purchased this one. There are other brands, and I've already opened up the package to do my other pieces. But the nice thing about this type that comes in the tubes, it squirts out equal amounts. And then anytime I have any little bubble, what do you call it? No, blister packs or something, I save the pieces because that's what I like to mix on. So you're going to squeeze out so you're getting equal amounts. And I'm not going to put too much because I've already done some of my other pieces. Then now that I have that squeezed on there, you just mix it up for about, I don't know, it says 20 seconds on the instructions. So I never really count 20 seconds. I kind of just stir it so that it gets a nice, I don't know, it just gets mixed. Sort of till you feel like it's well blended together. I also should have ahead of time cut a couple pieces of tape to help to hold the piece together. So I'm going to do that really quick. So 2 nice long pieces of tape and have them ready to hold my piece. I'm going to do 3 just in case I need that 3rd one. I'm just simply going around this top edge. Again, this is a game changer to be able to use this stuff, so don't be afraid of it. It's really more easy than you would think to use. So I'm just going around putting a pretty generous amount around that whole top edge. It's clear, so you can't really see it that well. I can't even really show you how much I'm putting on. Be generous, but don't be over the top generous where it's going to drip down. I found that the easiest way to do this, because I tried many ways, you have your candlestick this way, go ahead and set your glass on top of it about half an inch or 3/4 of an inch. It's probably more like 3/4 of an inch away from that top edge. And you do want to make sure that, so your candle is an octagon, make sure that one of the straight edges is straight on here. As you can see here, straight edge, and make sure you're not gluing it with one of the pointed sides. So now that I've got this in place where I want it, I'm gonna just throw some tape. I'm using Scotch tape. If you can do this without moving it much is even better, so you don't end up with the glue all over the place. It's a little tricky, but just do what you can. And then lastly, with my third piece of tape, I'm gonna tape from the inside of the glass to the candlestick. So I've taped each side down. It's pretty sturdily taped right now until it can dry up overnight. Now that's why I did some of the other pieces, because I really want to be able to show you this project, and I was dying to start it last night, so I did. Anyway, I'm going to let this one dry for now, and I'm going to show you the next steps. So I may end up finishing this tomorrow. For me filming, it's maybe a 3-day project, but for you doing it, it should be a 2-day project. The other thing I went ahead and did ahead of time was I glued my 2 bowls together. So I put E6000 around the edge of one. So we have this, and what we're going to be doing, the pieces that I glued last night, we'll take the tape off of them, and we're going to be attaching these to the 2 bowls that are glued together. And we'll also be using the Gorilla Glue adhesive. So I'm going to be mixing a bigger batch than this, and I'm also saving my pieces of tape because I'm still going to need those. This is going to be a really kind of a little more elaborate DIY than some of my other ones, kind of possibly. Not necessarily more elaborate, but something a little different. And so just try it, guys. Don't be afraid. Just go for it. Okay, so I feel like I don't have enough of this mixed, so I'm actually going to mix another batch so that I don't get stuck halfway. I'm going to wipe off whatever little bit is left there, and then go ahead and mix a little bigger batch. But first, I'm going to take all the tape off and prep my pieces so they're ready to go, because you don't want to waste time putzing around while that epoxy resin hardens up. So be kind of ready. And you know, look, if it does harden up, no big deal. Make another batch. It's all good. We craft for less stress, not for more. So just don't stress. Do your best. It will come out just fine. Okay, so now that I have all of my other pieces ready to go, my glass pieces, I am going to mix a fair amount of epoxy, because you saw how much I mixed the first time there for just gluing on the glass to the candle holder. So now we're going to be gluing this, which is a much larger space to cover. We're going to be gluing that onto this bowl. I'm going to need a fair amount. Mostly it looks like on the top, because the bottom doesn't even touch. So one or the other is going to touch, and so I'm going with the top part. I think it would be sturdier that way. So mix that up. It gets almost like a little bit milky when you first start mixing, and then it will get clear again. But you do want to make sure that you get all the edges of it mixed together. That's the key to using this epoxy resin, is give it a good mix. If it's mixed in non-equal parts or not put together, mixed together properly, it just won't stick. That's why I love this tube that's already pre-measured out, so you don't have to guess. Ew, and have paper towels nearby because it's kind of gummy to get it on your hands. Okay, so the glass is going to be resting on the table as a good base, and then we're going to attach it. Any parts that you see that'll be touching is where you're going to want to put your glue, which, as I said, the bottom doesn't touch. So it looks like it's going to be these top three segments here are about it. Maybe halfway down this, so maybe just on the upper half. And then we're going to have our piece of tape ready because that's what's going to hold it from the top. The table will hold it, and we should be good to go. I've got it on the 3 sides, putting it halfway down on this other section here. And I'm going to try and work somewhat quickly so that I don't have to throw that away and start over. And I'm going to put my piece of tape on from now to have it ready to hold. And there you go. So that wasn't so hard. See? Okay, next one. We're going to go all the way around and we're going to do that same thing. And I'm going to do it off camera or maybe speed it up because I end up talking and not working. And I need to do both when I'm doing this project. You're going to want to leave about a 3/4 inch or so gap in between your glasses. And the beauty with this epoxy resin is it actually does harden up pretty quick. So though your project won't be completely done and ready, you do need several hours for this to fully cure, but it will hold together pretty quickly as far as for moving things around and stuff. So we got about 3/4 of an inch or so space. Oops, I forgot to put my piece of tape on. There we go. So something I learned about this epoxy resin, I just assumed that when you push it down, it was just automatically going to push out evenly. You do need to kind of watch because sometimes if you're putting more pressure on one side, it will squirt a little more out of the one side than the other. So really try and be as even as possible and watch how much is coming out each side. This piece that we started off with is actually dry enough that I'm not going to take the tape off, but I think I can glue it on here for video purposes. And I really would not recommend doing that at home since you would be gluing all 5 of these the night before and having them already ready. I only did 4 of them to have one ready to show you, but I would do 5 of these, let them dry overnight, glue your bowls together and let them dry overnight, and then go through and do the other steps. And it's really good idea to have paper towels on hand for this. Okay, so it looks like we've got those pretty much even in place. Everything's taped. So the next thing that I'm actually going to do, since this is the top of our piece is I'm going to put some, you can use the E6000, but again, I already have this epoxy mixed, so I'm going to go ahead and use it since I've got it. I'm going to put it on the bottom of my little fish bowl or candle holder, whatever you want to call it. And attach it to the top and that baby's not going anywhere. I can tell you that for sure. So now I have a very small workspace, as you can see. So now what we're going to do here off to the side is take our plate, which is actually turned upside down, and our vase, and we're going to attach these two together. I am first going to clean them with alcohol like I do everything that I glue together. Again, as I said, it really helps if it's clean, get a lot better adhesion. So give that a, I think I already did this, but just to be sure. And then same on here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the top of this vase to the underneath side of the plate. And to do that, I'm going to be using my E6000. And then this for sure will need to cure overnight. I'm putting it around this top edge of the vase and going to center that on top of our plate. And we'll be giving this 24 hours to dry, giving this 24 hours to dry. And the next step after that will be to lift this and glue it on top of this. So what a fun project. I'm so excited to see it done. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, it's several hours later. I'm actually in my, look at, I found owl pajamas in Alaska. Are they not the cutest thing? And it says, I don't know if you can see, I'm owl yours. Anyway, so these gems that I got at Michael's, I was looking at this thinking how beautiful they would look put in the crease here right around the edge. So as this is, I'm going to take the tape off in a bit and I'm going to go ahead and attach it to its base that we already glued together. But in the meantime, I'm also going to go in and attach some of these because I think that would look really, really awesome in here. So I think I'm going to need to use a little bit of hot glue in conjunction with the E6000 until these dry, because it looks like they don't dry quick enough to hold into place. So anyway, I'll be back as soon as I get those all glued on around. So I got all the gems glued around here and I love the way it looks. I think that made such a huge difference. I'm thinking about adding these large gemstones right here, but I'm going to see how this looks once I put the whole unit on top of its base. So we're going to use the E6000 here on the base, and I'm putting a decent amount. And I'm keeping it a little bit away from the edge because I don't want it to goop out over the sides once I put this base on, which is pretty heavy. So I'm going by feel and feeling that it's got the same amount around all sides. Whoops. That feels about right. Pulled off most of my tape. I got a couple pieces left that I'm cleaning off. I know you guys don't have a good view of this, but you're going to get to see it once I put the candles in it. And I think I'm going to do flowers in the top part. So I think for the most part I'm done. I may glue a few more gems on, which will be pretty self-explanatory in the finished little video clip. So hang out and let me show it to you. Okay everyone, this is it. Finally finished and on display, our candelabra centerpiece. So we're always seeing people using these candlesticks in a vertical position, but I figured I needed to come up with something to change it up. So this is what I came up with, and I'm actually going to even show you a way to glam it up even a bit more. I didn't do it as a permanent fixture right now for you, but I am going to show you how you can do that if you would like to add a bit more glam to it. And I'm going to also link where you can find these crystal beads. And what we would do if you were doing it for real, I'm obviously just doing this now for the purpose of demonstration, but if you were doing this for a little more permanent effect, you could attach them to the proper length. But I think it looks pretty amazing either way, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So that's just adding a bit of extra glam to it for those of you that like the glam, which I do. That's what we've got. So I hope you love it as much as I do, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up, share this video, help my channel grow even more so I can continue to bring you great, neat, unusual ideas. And like it, comment, you know, the works, the whole shebang. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I've got lots more awesome ideas floating around in my head. So thank you so much for watching, but more importantly, I wish you an absolutely fabulous day.